It's been pretty cold over the last few days, and you may have noticed the roads are pretty slick.
Yeah, that's because there's a certain point with freezing temperatures when even road salt is just not effective anymore. Meteorologist Aaron Myler here to explain why that is. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, you guys, and good morning to you all at home as well. Now, when we have mornings that are quite this cold, everything changes a bit more, but it depends on how cold you are. So let's first start off with talking about what water is and how it freezes. Whenever you have water, the molecules are more loosely packed, so it flows more freely, and that's how we have a liquid. But once it starts to freeze, everything starts to become a bit more solid. We all know this, but if you look on the yellow there, that's gonna be like salt molecules that once you get in there, they kind of disrupt the freezing process and prevent those tight bonds from forming. Now, once we have that with the temperatures, what are we talking about? At 32 degrees, road salt is very effective at disrupting those bonds, and that's why we still have it melting everything quite easily. That's where you can melt all the snow, all the ice. It's pretty great at 32 degrees, but once we get close to around 15, that's whenever it becomes much more ineffective at or below 15 degrees at preventing that, because it just can't lower the freezing point of the water in quite the same way. Now, even on top of this, you need more ice to melt snow as you get, or you need more salt to melt snow and ice as you get colder and colder and colder. You could melt 46 pounds of ice with 1 pound of salt when it's 30 degrees, but it really pretty quickly starts to move down quite a bit there. For 20 degrees, you're gonna need 9 pounds of salt. And whenever you need that much after a certain point, it just becomes impractical to be using quite so much salt when you're getting out there, especially because that will just blow around, and I mean, you really don't need to have 1,000,000 pounds of salt on the road. It's just going to become problematic, which is why you see a lot of us starting to use sand or other things to really get you some traction on the ice instead of salt, just because it won't work. And we've had a lot of those mornings where the temperatures have been below 15 degrees recently, so there is going to be some black ice in spots still. Just make sure when you're out on the roads, watch as you go through it, because you still can see everything being a little bit more slick. On the weather deck, meteorologist Aaron Myler, News Center, Maine.